Magic Show is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and check this out. On February 4th and 5th, the StarCityGames.com Open Series comes to Richmond, and this event is going to be huge. We're talking hundreds of players, over $14,000 in cash prizes, at least 18 players qualifying for any SCG Invitational in 2012. Live coverage all weekend long courtesy of SCG Live, and as much Magic the Gathering as we can pack into one weekend. So make plans to join StarCityGames.com in Richmond, and we'll see you there.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the Magic Show. This week we are back, starting with our blue cards from Dark Ascension and our complete spoiler review. I have with me Todd Anderson and Gerry Thompson, way better players than me. And we are going to talk about how awesome these new cards are. We are going again today with the blue cards, and we're starting with Artful Dodge. I like my Distortion Strikes.
Yeah, that's exactly the card I was going to compare it to, actually, which, you know, makes sense, considering they're very similar.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, and I think they've figured out, like, one blue is fine for unblockable creatures. They've done this in multiple cards before, and, like, Distortion Strike gave it twice, and that was fine. Yeah. So, giving it to a flashback card seems okay, too.
It could be good in Infect.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's actually okay with Geist of Saint Trap, too, I think, at some points. I mean, just making your Geist unblockable to get in for an extra couple damage is okay. So
Ooh, I like that. I mean, you know, when you don't have Invisible Stalker, but you do have a hexproof creature, kind of makes it Invisible Stalker-esque.
Yeah, I mean, probably not quite good enough, but it still seems like, you know, reasonable to consider.
Right, it's an option. Beguiling Wills, they really, really, really didn't want in constructed.
Yeah, it seems like it.
For serious. Like, you know, they made Solar Temptation, and I've heard from multiple people at Wizards that Solar Temptation was just a little too good. It was a little pushed. Shouldn't have had flying, or shouldn't have been a 2/2, or
Love
whatever.
playing with Solar.
Yeah, Solar was the nut. And, like, this card was, you know, I was like, oh, it's Solar-y. No, it's not.
It's so close.
Yeah.
One mana less, another toughness, we'd be in there.
If you can make this thing live in limited, though, you are
Oh
set.
my God.
Holy cow. Like, can I untap with it? Can I really? Can I please? Can I please?
I mean, the fact that it doesn't give it back when it dies just makes it just like
bonkers.
Yeah.
And that's why it has to be so fragile.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's why it dies to every removal spell ever printed.
So, Bone to Ash. How do you feel about that one?
I like it. I'm a fan of Exclude.
I like Excludes. Excludes for 4 mana are probably just as good as Excludes for 3 mana.
Yeah, this is another thing what we were talking about last week with Glenelendra Sentinels being reprinted, and also the white creature. I forget the name.
Sure, the Mausoleum Guard, you mean?
No, the Heretic thing that removes the blocker. 4 mana, 2/2 flash flying, white.
Yes.
Removes attacking or blocking creature.
Yes, I remember the card. I don't remember the name exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Hollow Hinge something. Or
okay. So you know, you leave all this mana open. They expect some sort of trick like that, and they attack, and they're just like, he didn't use it because I played around it. So okay, that's good. I'll just play my creature and increase my board. You're like, sorry.
Oh, Bone Dash, buddy. They exclude you.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I actually bought an Exclude on Magic Online the other day to play in Pauper. The card is like $7.
Yeah.
Like, because Pauper cards are very expensive, and especially if they're like from very old sets.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't assume Bone Dash will come anywhere close to that, but I just wanted to point that out.
But 10 years from now, when someone comes back and watches this video and they're playing Pauper on Magic Online, they're just like, Bone Dash is 7 tickets now.
Yeah.
I wish I could get
that tires.
Excludes just don't exist.
Right.
Yeah, there's like one Exclude on Magic Online anymore.
So, Call to the Kindred. This is an interesting card. It's just like, it's 4 mana, it's an aura, a bunch of text. I think a lot of the constructed players just go like, just don't even pay attention to it. You may look at the top 5, put a creature card that shares a creature type with the enchanted creature on the battlefield. Like, this feels like super Johnny fun combo EDH-ness.
Yeah, this type of card seems like an elf type card, you know.
Yeah. For your elf deck, you throw in some blue and some Hinterland Harbors or whatever, and, you know, kind of make it work. You know?
Just put it on your Eldrazi and then flip it in like at the top. Something like that.
Well, you know, you put it, you don't play it. Like, there is that distinction. I read that to make sure, but ultimately, I'm not really excited about it.
Yeah, me neither.
It's super fun, though. Like, those cards look like super sweet. There's a set of players that love that type of thing, and I congratulate them on enjoying it. Chant of the Skiff Sang. What?
I don't know. I don't know what a skiff saying is. But
Office pool for worst card namer in the set.
Well, it's possible that the card or the name skiff saying is like whatever this little.
The Seafarers of Nephalia. Yes. I appreciate them on their made-up name. It's cute. It's like, it's just like creature never attacks or blocks, or creature becomes a wall, right?
Yeah.
Turn her creature into a wall.
I like this card.
Yeah. It's cool.
I will play the hell out of this card in limited.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
It'll stop the beats from
Blue
anything.
removal, baby. Blue removal.
Yeah, actually be pretty good with like undying creatures or whatever, as long as they have a high toughness, I guess.
Yeah.
Chula foreboding. That flashback's pretty high, man.
It is. I would play this in self-mill if the flashback wasn't so high.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I think if they made the flashback cost like 2 less, then it might actually end up being a little too powerful and limited because I mean, you just like mill them for 5, and then a few turns later you mill them for 5 again off of just one card. I mean, that's
no, Todd. I'm not interested in milling them. I want to mill myself.
That's this target
They
player,
don't get to have
not
any of
target
the fun.
opponent. We get to have the funsies.
All right.
But yeah, this feels to me like something that was in the file is like a cheaper flashback and like slowly creeped
they're like,
up and up and up. The more they play with it, they're like, oh god, this card.
They're like, we don't want Gerry to win in draft. We got to make this cost 8.
And you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna keep trying. Counter
your memory
Lash.
journeys.
Counter spells do various things at 6 mana.
This one's pretty sweet though for 6 mana.
It's pretty nice.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can counter their dude and put in a Titan or put in whatever.
Emrakul.
Or Emrakul.
I mean, that's dreaming big. But Westwise was going on about that yesterday.
He's going deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like an EDH type of card, I think. I mean, where you can't cast Emrakul in that format, obviously, but you do get to just like play the most insane fatties in the game in your deck, and having like a hard counter that basically can generate anywhere from like 4 to 9 mana or whatever is very powerful. And I don't think it's going to see constructed playable. But
It's just too random, I think, is one of the big problems. Like, it does counter any spell, and it gives you any of those types for free, but you also have to have those types available.
Right.
Whereas an EDH game, like, a bunch of different people are going to do a bunch of different things, and so there's a really good chance if you're actually being able to hit the exact type you need.
Exactly.
Like, I really want to hit the instant card. Like, you can probably find one. But in standard, not always available.
So is that a challenge?
Oh.
Are you challenging me to counter Lash?
Run the onesies to the sideboard.
I mean,
Maybe.
if you really want to put that in your like Frost Titan deck. Gladly.
Woo.
Counter Lash that. Put this Hovermere into play.
Breaking the format, baby.
Yes.
Ban Hovermere hashtag. Cursive Echoes. Now, all I'm saying is, like, I read through the spoiler. A couple cards jumped out at me. This one jumped out at me. I was just like, this seems cheap. This seems cheaper than I expected.
It's basically just a fixed version of Hive Mind. I mean, the fact that it costs 1 less is nice, but basically, like, you can't just auto kill your opponents with packs anymore.
Right.
Like, but I mean, you can enchant them, and then whenever they cast something like a draw spell, you just copy it for free.
Yeah, I mean, if they're playing a bunch of sweet spells, you just get to backpack, right?
Yeah.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a May ability. If they try to cast counter spells, you get them. If they cast draw spells, you get them. Like, it's just, I don't know. All I'm saying is this card was just like, man, I was not expecting it to be that cheap. I was expecting 6+ mana or 2 blue and 4 colorless or whatever, something that was a little bit worse than what ended up being on the card.
Yeah. I mean,
Divination.
I want to draw cards with flashback,
What?
but I don't want think twice.
What would be the flashback cost in Divination?
9. I don't know.
I'm
like,
throwing out there, like, what do you think they would actually put the flashback cost
that's
on
fine.
that card?
If it
9?
had a flashback of 9, at least I can dream big. You
Like
know,
2 blue, 7 colorless?
Yeah, sure. But no, I mean, Divination's
Seems a bit
fine.
hefty.
It's kind of weird in this set, though. It seems like very basic, and
I mean, this felt like they, sort of a bread and butter of here's your good limited draw spell, here is something for Snapcaster to do and block, like,
yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
block is a consideration. That's fair.
I think there really just isn't a whole lot of just like raw card advantage cards in limited, and I think that they just wanted something that just that didn't like put any one card over the top,
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Divination's fine.
Yeah. All right, next up, my sleeper hit of the set.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about this guy.
Oh my god, I love Dungeon Guys. I love this card. Like, as soon as someone mentioned it, I was just like, oh, this card's so sick. This card's Faceless Butcher in blue. Faceless Butcher in blue.
And he flies, and he has an extra power.
Yes, yes. This card is great. This card is awesome. I am actually thinking this card is going to be very, very good. I don't know. It may end up being terrible, but I'm actually excited about it.
It depends on how the format goes, but 4 mana 3/3 flyer by itself is good.
Yeah,
Like, that's very, very good. We're talking about
fine
Plover
card.
Knights, like, dominating this guy's, and this guy's insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, in limited, obviously. Like, this guy's nuts. He's Faceless Butcher that flies and, like, has 3 power and 3 toughness. But you thinking standard, like, I'm thinking, you know, locking down your Hero of Blade Hold. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Locking down a Titan is pretty good, too.
Yeah. I mean, when it flies, and it's a spirit, like, you know, and then we have a Spirit Lord now in blue-white.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true.
all these things, all I'm saying, as soon as someone said, man, that card's probably pretty good, and, like, I was like, well, what? It's like, it felt like the part when people misunderstood Frost Titan. You know, Frost Titan come out, was worth, like, nothing.
Yeah.
No one liked it. And then all of a sudden, like, bit by bit, people were like, man, that card's pretty good. And, like, this one, I was like, that card just, it removes a creature from the game until you deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm a pretty huge fan of Somnophore. It was one of my favorite casual cards back in the day, so this guy is kind of like a strict upgrade.
I mean, what do you think, Todd? Do you like that? And sort of, you know, as someone who knows illusions very well, and the spirit type.
Like, I mean, when everyone's sort of pushing towards tokens and hexproof guys, it might not make the cut, but I think it's a guy to keep in mind when you're building.
Fair. I mean, he does, granted, he doesn't do that much against tokens.
That's
like,
true.
like Lingering Souls and an Intangible Virtue, you're like, oh.
To be fair, though, like, Hovermere on paper doesn't do that much against tokens, but, I mean, he does some work, so...
I didn't play Hovermere because it was good, man.
And Hovermere's going to get there.
You just play for funsies?
Yeah.
That's why I played Mutagen Growth.
So I prefer the Messenger, but Geralf's Mind Crusher.
See, I prefer the Mind Crusher.
What?
This is exactly what I want to be doing in limited.
And limited.
Not constructed, but this is my fatty.
You'll be targeting yourself.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, definitely sweet for limited. Probably not going to make constructed, but...
No. But this card just seems nuts. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's huge. You deal with him, he comes back even larger.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you don't kill them with this giant undying guy somehow, I mean, maybe you got a little value off that mill. Who knows?
well, not
Maybe
a
hit
boat,
it.
man.
Maybe hit
Yeah,
a Forbidden Alchemy. Maybe flash it back.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. Now, Grip Tide, they've made this card many times in various different ways.
Again, Grasp of Phantasms into this, similar card, similarly costed, but
Instant speed is pretty huge, I think.
it's pretty good. I like my repels.
Yeah. I mean, I like it being instant speed. I like the end of your turn, put the best thing you just did on top of your library.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like Time Walk in some respects, but yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Havengold Runebinder. Now, here's a Cemetery Reaper you can get behind.
Yeah, this guy's pretty powerful.
Woo! Like, it has to exile a creature from your graveyard, which is the big difference between him and Cemetery Reaper, as I recall.
Yeah.
But, you know, putting counters and all the zombies you control, like, this is just casual, goody funness.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, someone is just going to play their blue-black zombie deck. They now have their Lord. Like, I don't think it's going to actually get constructed playable, but some people sort of want it to be, you know, they want to believe, just like the mono-black guys. They want to believe.
Yeah, they do.
Want to make it happen. Mono-black control, mono-black aggro. We'll talk about that more in the black section. But regardless, I like Havengold Runebinder. What do you guys?
I mean, he's pretty sweet. Definitely a limited bomb, I think. But,
Yeah, for sure.
You know, definitely a Timmy card, like something that people want to play in,
Yeah.
you know, casual formats. So.
Cool. Headless Cobb, yet another of the Scalp Tribe. He's pretty cheap.
I like him.
Yeah, I
Good
like him a
Lord.
lot. Oh, man.
As a common?
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! That guy seems a little nutty.
He fits the spot where, like, the control deck wants a Stitch Drake in, like, the not heavy blue deck. Like, Stitch Drake is a little rough sometimes because it's double blue.
Right.
So just having, like, the 3/6 guy come down on, like, turn 4 or 5 and still have enough mana to do something else, like, you know, after you Forbidden Alchemy or
What
whatever.
beats through this thing?
Nothing. 6 toughness is gigantic.
I mean, even the friggin' Mind Crusher's going to get blocked by the Scob.
Yeah.
Dang. This thing's big.
yeah,
Thing's
that
large.
is huge.
Increasing Confusion, and we talked about this one before. Now, I love a Sanity Grinding deck. I love a Sanity Grinding deck so much. Todd, what do you think?
I think this card is actually awesome. Like in limited, it's just like,
Oh, God.
2 turns, you're just all your cards are gone. Nice, you know, nice deck, buddy.
Fireball your deck.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. It's one of those cards where, like, you know, it's very Glimpse the Unthinkable-esque, you know, and it can have some pretty powerful applications, like if people want it to. And I mean, it just seems like a ton of fun.
I'll shove on this card if I open it. No questions.
Oh, my God.
You can't stop me.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this card seems like the absolute nut and limited for a whole variety of reasons.
Yeah.
You're milling yourself, you're milling them, who cares, whatever. Like, crazy things are happening. Mystic Retrieval.
I think it's pretty sweet.
Run the Rebuys.
In an alchemy deck could be pretty good. Like get back your Wrath of God or Whip Flare, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Gifts on given piles, intuition, stuff like that.
It feels like a one of, like as a one of in any standard or any legacy, any modern, as a one of, target.
Yep.
To go get whatever you need back.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little mana intensive and probably not as good as like Call to Mind and like a Pyromancer deck, but it's still pretty okay when you're just trying to get very specific things back to your hand. So
yeah, sorcery speed I think is just the real hindrance on this one.
Yeah,
But,
if it was an instant, it'd probably be way too good.
Oh lord, yeah, at these costs for sure. Like I can imagine adding another blue and another red maybe to make it instant speed. But anyway, Sentinels of Elendra as we had spoken. Bang! Nephalia Sea Sky.
Yeah.
Sea Kite rather. Yeah, 2/3 flash flyer coming to get you.
It's good. Play around all my stuff.
I love that.
I really just love it when they print like flash creatures in limited because it allows you to like when you're the one who's like having to figure out whether or not they have it. It feels so good when you get it right.
Yeah.
And then like when people walk into it and you're just like, well, I'll just eat your 2/2 with my Nephalia Sea Kite, and they just like the look on their face when you cast it's just like and their head explodes.
What have I done?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's part of the way the barometer of a good Magic player a lot of times is like you have to play to your outs, you have to know what's in your deck, you have to know how you're going to win, and then you also have to know how they can beat you, like what they may have right there at that open mana that's actually going to stop what you're doing. And so the ability to sort of process that, and then obviously they're like this the Jedi mind reading, and then the Jedi mind tricking, and so what do they have? What do they think you have? What do you think they might have?
Right.
All that stuff comes into play with cards like these, which is why I think they're really great to have.
Yeah.
So Nibblus, more Nibbluses, more Nibbles of the Breath. 2/1 flyer, may tap or untap target creature. This guy seems
It's pretty good.
solid.
Yeah, solid tapper for limited. And if you have any sort of like pinger effect, that type of thing, you just go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, they really, I think, want the blue-white tempo deck in limited to be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I already think that the white decks in general are just way more powerful than any other deck. And pairing it with blue, like, you just have so many good flyers in this set and the first set. I mean, there's no reason, if I'm blue-white, I'm very happy.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, man. So moving on. Relentless Cobbs. Man, them Scobbs, they just keep coming. And this freaking guy.
Literally.
I like my 3/6s and my 5/5s and better than this guy, but he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Undying is a pretty powerful mechanic, though. I mean, he doesn't really fit the same theme as, the 5/5 that mills you for 5 cards or whatever. But this guy is... I mean, he's definitely playable. He's not nearly as powerful as... Stitch Drake, I think, because Stitch Drake has evasion, but...
And it's so hard to kill anyway, the Undying is...
Yeah, it's probably irrelevant.
Well, I mean, yeah, but ultimately it seems pretty good, though.
No, it's fine. Yeah, definitely a good limit.
But do you think this card is actually better or worse than the 3/6?
I think it's worse.
I think it's worse, too.
Yeah, the 3/6 is, almost never going to die.
Yeah.
And if it does, something very weird happened.
Yeah.
And it costs 2 less mana. It just comes down way earlier.
Only needs 1 blue.
It's more likely that you're going to get Bonds of Faith or Silent Departure than they're actually going to kill your guy, so...
Fair. So Saving Grasp is next. I love this card. I love the art.
Yeah.
I love the flavor. I love how it's sort of momentary blinkish kind of sort of. I think they didn't want to reprint Momentary Blink.
No, that one was good.
Yeah. That one was a little nuts. And even Feeling of Dread I always thought was maybe a little pushed beyond the average.
Yeah.
But Saving Grasp seems, again, the blue-white tempo deck, they try to kill your 2/1 flyers and you just bounce it back to your hand and replay it for 3 mana.
Yeah, the fact that this can counter a Geist Flame is pretty nice for that deck, because sometimes that card just wrecks you. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly cheap for what it does, which is nice. I think that's the only thing making it playable. But I think countering a Geist Flame is okay, but I mean, they have to spend. You're probably spending twice as much mana to counter the Geist Flame, which is a little annoying.
Better than losing.
That's true.
And again, they just killed. So Screeching Scobb, more of the Scalp Tribe.
I love this guy.
You like that guy, don't you?
No, I love this guy.
This is actually my favorite picture in the whole set because it's a zombie being crushed in a door as it's crawling through to eat you, right?
Right.
And I can just imagine it it's moan as it's coming through the door, just getting squished.
The picture is freaky as all get out.
Yeah,
There's some freaky stuff coming at you. This is the part where I'm glad Magic cards aren't 3D because holy God.
Not yet.
Not yet. You wait, buddy.
Yeah.
You wait. Secrets of the Dead. Like this card.
It's okay. I think it's overrated. It doesn't go in the Burning Vengeance deck for all you people that think it does.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, come on.
You're not bottlenecked on cards ever. Ever. All the cards you're flashing back are Think Twices, Alchemies, Ravings. You have plenty of things to do with your mana. You don't need this thing.
But but you draw more cards.
I think Secrets of the Dead's actually pretty sweet for Modern. Some guy recently top-8'd a Moto PTQ with a Burning Vengeance Raven's Crime deck.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you just have this instead, you can just, like, chain, like, the Raven's Crimes to just, like, draw.
Yeah, it's a lot better with Retrace than Burning Vengeance is.
Yeah.
Fair. So you're saying that, like, in Modern, and probably not Legacy, but in Modern, with Retrace, could possibly get there.
It's possible.
Yeah? I like the card a lot, but it's one of those cards that's full of potential. We spoke about like how you can build your limited deck around it, which is fun. But
I'll definitely do that.
Oh my god, yeah, get some love out of that one. Shriekgeist, it's the mill guy.
Yeah,
Mill
I
stone
want
on
to
a
deal
stick.
combat damage to myself. Is that possible?
Can I have
No,
like
this
a-
guy's
Dude,
good though.
I used to want to attack myself with Goblin Guide just to draw lands.
Yeah.
This is very similar to that in Limited. Like, I just want to hit myself to mill myself, but you just can't do it. So.
Oh, it doesn't say target player puts top 2 cards. Unfortunately, it says that player.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how good is this guy actually in limited per se?
It seems pretty good. Like 2-mana 1/1 flyer makes the cut occasionally. It could backfire really bad.
I was gonna say, like, wouldn't this actually backfire probably more than it would help you?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. Like if they mill one spell off it, like it's pretty bad for you. But if you're the Curse of Bloody Tome deck, then this guy's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, you just want as many of these in curses as possible and just run them out of cards.
yeah,
So.
cool collar spells and stuff.
Yep.
Cool. So Soul Caesar is up, and man, people were complaining about this one.
Why?
They came out and were just like, "Why is this not 4 mana? Why is this blah blah? Why is he not unblockable or something?" So I'm just like, "Are you insane?"
Why can't I just have Sower of Temptation back? Well, that card was a little too good.
That card was nuts. This card is fine. This card is a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
good.
like they've been printing like generic mind controls in limited formats for the past couple years, and they just wanted one that was a little harder to get online to blow your opponent out. So sorry, you can't have your free wins anymore, guys.
Because those mind control effects were so crazy good.
Yeah, they were.
Crazy good.
Yeah, but
I mean, I would talk to devs and they're just like, mind control. It's like it's so good. And even at 5 mana, it's so good. Like I can imagine they could actually print mind control at 6 mana, and it would still be a good spell.
I'd still play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enslave.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So
I mean,
like,
I rarely kill my opponent with the pings off of Enslave. I'm killing them because I stole their best creature.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then beat them to death with it. So.
right. So like this guy comes out, and people are complaining. I'm like, you guys are just insane. Like this
Yeah.
card seems
Oh, I have to
great.
first pick a Soul Caesar. Oh. What was that? First world problems?
Oh yeah, first world problems hashtag. Stormbound guys, this guy seems really good.
Yeah.
I was blown away that A, he's common, B, he flies, C, he's gonna die, like he's the package.
Any sort of like common undying creature is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if he can't block, creatures just fly.
What am I doing with my flyers? I'm attacking. I'm
Blue
not
white,
blocking.
you're just holy cow.
I like that guy a lot. Yeah, specifically for limited.
Yep.
Blue might be kind of tough,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to make it work.
You're willing to go the extra mile,
Yeah.
run a
To
couple
play-
extra islands.
I might just have to play like 8 islands in my deck.
Oh man. So
Might get
Thought
away with
Scour, what do you guys feel about that one?
Card's so good.
It's just mental note that you can target the player, right, to mill
Yeah.
the 2. Yeah, I mean it's
Mental note sort of upgraded a little bit.
Yeah.
Flexibility.
very cool. I think it's a very interesting card to put into the set because it allows you to do a couple of different things. Like in limited, if you're the mill deck, you can mill them for 2 while drawing a card. But if you just want to like scob yourself, you just mill yourself and draw a card.
Yeah.
So very, very cool for limited. I like it a lot.
This is going to be one of the cards on Magic Online that I own the most of. Almost certainly. From drafting, and this is going to go right in my constructed decks. I'm going to love it.
I love how on Magic Online you can actually go through your collection and just like see what you like to draft.
Yeah.
Every single set. Oh, I got 47 of those. You know.
Yeah, I had 48 Goblin replicas in my deck after Mirrodin, like triple Mirrodin draft. I always drafted like Red X and Mirrodin. It was so sweet. Goblin
Wow.
replica was in that.
Polshock replica?
Absolutely.
Or the original Mirrodin?
Original Mirrodin.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
original.
Goblin replica, man.
Oh,
All
Goblin
the-
Replica was so sick. So we're here to our final blue card in Towergeist.
Yeah.
I like this guy in Limited.
Mm-hmm.
I
the
wish
top two, sort of
if he was like a 2/1 for 3 mana, he would be constructed playable easily.
Yeah, agreed.
But just like I think that they were very aware of how good.
Like Seagate Oracle.
I was gonna say, like, this guy would be the sickest Seagate Oracle ever if he was a 2/1 flyer for 3.
Yeah. And the fact that he's a spirit would make him like really good with the Lord too. But yeah, I think they kind of noticed that and they didn't want to make like cards a little too powerful. So I think right at 4, very solid for limited, not quite good in constructed, but very solid card.
All right, guys. So those are all the blue cards from Dark Ascension. I am Evan Irwin. There's Todd Anderson. There's Gerry Thompson. We are here for the Magic Show, going over the whole set. We'll see you guys here tomorrow for all the black cards. For us, for Star City Games, we are tapping the cards so you don't have to.